Today is Palm Sunday, Cycle A. Today we had two Gospel readings. In the first, Jesus triumphantly enters Jerusalem and is greeted by cheering crowds. In the second, his friend Judas betrayed him. Peter, the rock, disowned him, and the rest of the disciples abandoned him in the Garden of Gethsemane. Jesus is falsely accused and unjustly condemned. He's tortured, mocked, and finally he was executed by crucifixion, a slow and painful death. The one who has a great ability to love and loves endlessly feels the pain of betrayal and rejection many times greater than others would feel. The greater the love, the worse is the psychological pain. He endured the horrible physical pain of his passion, as well as the emotional pain of betrayal, abandonment, and rejection. Because of Christ's ability to love, his emotional pain was worse than his physical pain. If someone you love deeply, with all your heart, has betrayed you, someone could strike you in the head with a baseball bat and you will hardly even notice or care. Because the Word became flesh, Christ can empathize with us. There is a difference between to sympathize and to empathize. I can only sympathize with you over the death of your mother. If my mother is alive, I can sympathize. However, on the other hand, I can empathize with you if my mother had also died. Whatever it was for us, betrayal, injustice, abandonment, or other wrongs we have had to endure, Jesus also endured them. Know that he knows and understands the depths of our suffering when we cry out to him in pain. Today's reading teaches us that God is the only one we can absolutely trust. Human nature is weak. Friends like Judas will betray us for devious reasons. Best friends like Peter will disown us or deny being our friends because of fear of bodily harm to themselves or becoming unpopular. Crowds are fickle. One day you can be their hero and they will cheer for you. The next day the same crowd will condemn you. When Jesus rode into Jerusalem, he was greeted like a king. And the crowds were waving branches like flags and using their clothes like a red carpet. The next day, many of the same crowd were shouting, "Crucify him!" In our pain and suffering, we can turn to Jesus for help, who can empathize with us, because he had the same painful experiences. The gospel ends with the death of Jesus and may even convey a loss of hope. However, for Christians, death is not an end, but a new beginning. The gospel prepares us for the great celebration of Easter, with the central pillar of our faith, the resurrection. The resurrection refers to a life of peace and joy with God after we die. However, there can be other mini resurrections from addictions, broken relationships, depression, economic hardships, or physical illness. We believe in the power of prayer and that with God all things are possible. We need everyone to pray and to believe that God, who loves us, will raise us up